Hello everyone, it's Thomas here. Oh, and Percy. Hey Percy. Well, it's been quite a while since the last episode of Stories on the Northwestern Railway. Last episode, we were close to losing Douglas, but luckily Oliver saved him. Or Douglas had saved him. But now, in today's video, if you guys don't remember, there's a lot of stuff we need to cover from Chapter 2 and Chapter 2.5. So today, me and Percy are going to do a little recap on what happened in Stories of the Northwestern Railway Chapter 2. My bad, I meant Chapter 2 and Chapter 2.5. See what happened in these past few months, or well, last year too. James, could you do the honors? No problem, Thomas. Alright, here's the TV. Let's go back to the very beginning. Now, the first story of this series is a very spooky one, as Bear had met Dolly again. If you guys don't remember, Bear and Douglas had ended up getting Dolly sent to the scrapyard. And what we and Bear see right now is a ghost of Dolly. He ended up telling some pretty scary stuff to Bear. Soon enough, he had disappeared. With that, Bear left, knowing that Dolly's ghost was still out there, somewhere. Now, next episode is where the lore really begins. Tiffany was at Wellsworth when a big explosion was caused, which woke up a nearby Edward. Apparently, a train of fuel tankers came down Gordon's Hill and crashed right into him. Someone built a fire engine came to save the day. Oh, Stepney was severely injured. Me and Edward tried to get some information from Class 40. Talked about Diesel 10 and some other diesels on the mainland wanted to come and take over the island. Like they usually would. With that, Class 40 rolled away. We both knew they were on to something. Something not good at all. Now, this next episode was just a little episode on Shed 17. So we're just gonna skip this episode. A little statement. Edward tells a story about Shed 17. Thomas goes there. And if you guys have watched Shed 17, you know what happens. Then Thomas and Percy wake up just to find out it was a dream. Or well, me and Percy woke up finding out it was a dream. Now, back with me. I was going to go to the mainland to get some answers from the Diesels. I had soon made it to Kildane. Through some rocky area, which I almost crashed at. My driver met an old friend of him. Soon Diesel came. He was a part of Diesel 10's plans. This next episode was the 40th anniversary of our series. The actual series in real life. And Gordon decided to reenact our most famous, Gordon's famous prank in Thomas and Gordon. This time it was on purpose because we wanted to, reminisce the old times. Next episode, I was on the mainland. I met this Wellsworth and Sodor engine with the same number. Told me how to get to Diesel 10. And now, as I was heading for Diesel 10, this Wellsworth and Sodor engine number 1 had bumped a tanker of jelly and ended up like this. Now, this next episode features Donald and Douglas as the two reunite with their lost twin, Donovan. They had saved him from the clutches of two diesels, D199 and Class 40. They decided to become an alliance to stop those diesels. Now, this is a sneak peek for an upcoming arc. Or, well, the first movie of Christmas Engines. Oh, well, the movie is called Christmas Engines. We soon found out that our sheds were destroyed by Alfred. We decided to head off, knowing our Christmas wouldn't be the same after this. After a bunch of other episodes, we're finally at it. Christmas engines. The first part of this movie. Christmas was coming, and we wanted to end off this year great. Everybody except for Alfred. As he was still mad, he couldn't destroy the engines. So Diesel 10 came along and wanted to make a plan for Alfred. Meanwhile, Gordon was pulling the express with his snow plow, or well, snow machine acquired, and his Christmas themed express coaches. At night, Alfred had snuck to the sheds with a bunch of fuel tankers. PT Boomer was there too. He lit the fuel tankers and a fire was set ablaze on the sheds. Gordon was able to get out, including Percy. Though James and the other engines weren't as lucky. Gordon was depressed that he couldn't save James and the others in time. We decided to sleep at Titnit Station sheds, along with Toby, and the next morning we were easily able to save the engines. Though, me and Gordon had some unfinished business we needed to complete with Alfred. Well, the unfinished business we had did include taking out Alfred. We had made it to the sheds. Well, we had made it to the sheds, along with Alfred there too. Soon enough, Diesel 10 came. Diesel 10 had realized what he did was wrong. So, to make it up, he would help me and Gordon defeat Alfred. He wanted to take out Alfred, but I decided to stop him. Because me and Southampton had kind of had a worse punishment for Alfred. Now, on to 2025. The first episode of 2025 was duck season. Basically, a bunch of hunters had came to the island to, kill ducks of some sort. Of course, Dilly was a duck. So Donald had to run. But there was a sniper there that soon found out that Dilly and Donald were there. So they ran away, along with Lumpy behind them. Soon enough, Hat was there to solve the situation. Now, there are some good episodes coming up, so let's do a small summary on this one. Neville gathered all the engines at Knapford Sheds, to tell a little story about his cousin. His cousin's name was Big Mev. Big Mev had a sketchy smile. And after a crash, he was scheduled to be sent to the scrapyard. And let's just say, the engine who was taking Big Mev to the scrapyard, he didn't make it. He had a similar smile to how Big Mev had it. The engines had a laugh because out of all engines, Murdoch was the engine who was scared of the story the most. A few episodes later, and we get the Lead Mines arc. Thomas was just pulling Annie and Clarabelle. Oh, I was pulling Annie and Clarabelle. I went to Knapford and Sir Topham had told me they were opening a new mines called the Lead Mines. I told the other engines. Gordon was very sketchy about it. James didn't like the idea, obviously because of his paintwork. Either way, I went to the mines. There was a sign there that said, "Danger! Engines must not pass this board." If you watched down the mine, you know what would happen. I fell into the mine. Gordon came to save me, only for the mines to collapse along with Gordon. Next episode, we went to the lead mines after encountering the same dream, and we found our original selves. Someone had explained those were old shells of us. They had saved our faces. We went back to the sheds really scared. The next episode, I went back to the lead mines that same day. And encountered someone, which was Pilot Thomas. Pilot Thomas is the main villain of this arc. Gordon soon came to save me, but Pilot Thomas had already disappeared from buffers. Next episode, I was being chased by Pilot Thomas. Luckily, Lady came back to save me. No, Pilot Thomas had gained a new form of some sort. And then Pilot Thomas had crashed me right into his shed. Next episode, Percy comes to Olsted, and he sees Stephen with a crucifix. You guys have seen it. A crucifix is really a way to, take out the monsters. If you play Doors, you know what I mean. Soon enough, Percy wants to use that crucifix just so they can take out Pilot Thomas. In next episode, Percy tries to attempt to do that. And Rosie was Pilot Thomas's second victim, killing Rosie instantly. And then me and Percy and Pilot Thomas went on a chase. Percy needed Gordon's help. Since Gordon was the fastest engine of the group, Gordon was basically bait. Gordon gladly accepted it, only because, again, he's the fastest engine of the group. Next episode, or the final episode, soon starts. The final chase begins. Gordon's being chased after Pilot Thomas, and Percy's chasing after Pilot Thomas, of Gordon being the bait. They soon make it to the lead mines, where Pilot Thomas crashes there again. And soon enough, Percy's driver uses the crucifix, and it lands beneath Pilot Thomas, sending him in the air. And with that, Pilot Thomas is no more. Next episode begins a new series, Troublesome Summer. Helpy sitting in the sheds near Elsbridge when he sees 1020, an old friend of his, who needed help pushing some trucks. Just like old times, Toby went to help him. They were luckily able to bring all the supply. Next episode, me, Percy, and Toby end up beating a different version of me from the books, the Runaway series. And then me and Runaway series, Thomas kind of had an idea. You remember how Bill and Ben kind of did to Boko? Well, we did that exact same thing. This time to our good old pal Gordon. And I go back to do it again. And Gordon's soon shocked as soon as he finds out there's two Thomases. Now the next episode is Revenge of the Domeless Engine. Gordon's puffing to kill Dane to drop off his passengers. A flag is waved to let an engine pass. Gordon knows there isn't any engine passing. But soon they end up hearing something. And it's the one and only City of Churro. A Domeless engine. And like Gordon said in the television series, he kinda hates Domeless engines. Then he just disappears. Gordon had no idea what he just witnessed. Next episode's a stormy one, as James is tasked to take a passenger train to Nafford. Oh no, Sudbury. But it starts raining while he's getting there, and soon thunder starts coming down. Soon he passes by Edward, and they have to do an emergency stop at Wellsworth as James's safety valve burst. Soon Thomas was there to help out. And Thomas actually did it. James was speechless. The next episode is called The Last Chance, where Splatter and Dodge were planning to get Diesel 10 back and take over the island. Oh well, a final attempt at it. Soon enough, all the engines were there to stop them. Diesel 10 soon comes. And after a bit of talking, the battle commences. A bunch of stuff happens. But soon enough, Diesel 10's face to face with Sam, one of the largest engines on the railway. And he isn't afraid of Diesel 10, even with the claw. And soon Diesel 10 surrenders, getting us the victory. After a few other episodes we won't go over this time, we finally reached the finale. Times are changing. This episode, Edward finds out that I've fully grown up and don't really need help from him. And the other big engines, like Gordon, agree. But that isn't until Thomas gets into a runaway. And Edward sees me pass by. And we're still able to stop the runaway. And I honestly agree that sometimes I do need Edward's help. Now, we're at the first episode of Chapter 2.5. Children are back to school, and Edward's working harder than ever. So finally, Edward decides he needs a break. And he sees if any of the other engines would take his job. And finally, I'm chosen. And I soon set off for my adventure on the Wellsworth branch. The next episode, I end up meeting Rocco again. With, of course, the mischievous twins, Bill and Ben. And to take a break from them, I took one of the twins on my little adventure, just so Boko could take a break from at least one of the twins. Now, this next episode, we transition to the Narrow Gauge Railway. We're at Blue Mountain Quarry with Luke. This episode's called Twin Trouble, where Luke had to deal with Mighty Mac's trouble. They had soon crashed right in front of a tunnel. Luke decided to take the coaches, while Mighty Mac just stood there. And this next episode brings us to our Halloween special, Ffarquhar Frights. But Toby, and Percy are at Farquhar sheds. We were tasked to shunt some truck. But as we were about to go to sleep, 1020 showed up. And not the kind of 1020 we saw in the first episode of Troublesome Summer. Then suddenly the whole ghost game comes. With the Kildare experiment, the Slender engine, Roy Thomas, even Timothy was there. Then Slender engine was taken out easily. If you guys watch Diesel D199, you know that the Slender engine's weakness are lit jack-o'-lanterns. She was most impressed by this. Toby was soon derailed by the Kildare experiment. Me and Timothy having problems. But then suddenly the sun rises, only to reveal Lady's first appearance in the series in a while. Then every ghost was taken out and everything was back to normal. Soon, we're at the start of the Bluebells Forever Arc. This was a arc series that went from the first day of December, oh well, no, I think the 14th of December, all the way to the 25th. This first episode was at the sheds. Top Hat wanted to introduce a new engine. Stepney was there too. And the new engine was introduced. She was named Bluebell. Though, I recognized Bluebell well. A bit too well. We find out later on that she was the Mad Bomber. She went crazy on my branch line. And I returned exhausted as ever. Edward, Gordon, and Henry were most suspicious about this. The next episode was a little episode on Diesel, finding out his old name used to be Craig. And Bluebell just decides to rage bait Diesel with it. She pretty much ruins Diesel 10's whole day. Well, I mean, Diesel's whole day. Diesel talks about this to the Diesels at the sheds, finding out they need some way to attack. But they decide to keep low as she hasn't done anything crazy yet. This next episode is the long-awaited Thomas's Exile, where I'm soon trapped at the ironworks. The engines try to find out the way to get there. Emily soon comes back, knowing where Thomas is. With that, they all follow Emily. Diesel 10 is soon met by Diesel 10. I mean, to top of Matt. Get your characters right, Thomas. My bad, Percy. Anyways, Sir Top of Matt meets Diesel 10 and gives him a punishment. I tell him that his claw is just to make him intimidating. And I said just to take it off. Now, next episode, Bluebell takes off with a train of gunpowder vans we were shunting. We were supposed to take it to the clay pits. But Bluebell's stupid self decided to send the gunpowder vans down Gordon's Hill. Plus, they were kind of derailed already. And Bluebell accuses me for doing so. And I get punished. She soon arrives at Tibbet's sheds, which I'm still mad at Bluebell for doing that. And then we get to a little bit bad. Do you know that feeling of a bright and sunny day? Well, it's feeling that I get not tell the kid to get play. I'm not gonna show the whole music video, but anyways, back to episode 4, where we see Stepney. He doesn't really trust Bluebell because the Thomas he knows wouldn't do such a thing like that. In the next episode, Edward decides to confront me along with Percy. Soon I end up telling the story of the events of the Mad Bomber. I'm tasked to take the bomb somewhere to defuse it, after someone, or now you know who's Bluebell, put the bomb in the sheds while seeing some of our videos. And the good shed I went to take it to was the same shed Class 40 was in. And that was pretty much it. Let's just say after that, Edward and Percy didn't trust Bluebell after that. In episode 6, Bluebell just messes around with me again. And there's a bomb in my cab. And my driver decided to throw it into Scruffy and he exploded. Scruffy's first and last appearance in the series. Kind of like what happened in that one episode where Oliver completely destroyed him. Next episode, we can all agree we were tired of Bluebell. Doug soon theoried, what if Bluebell was planning something on Christmas Day? We decided to keep Duck's idea in mind. Now, episode 8 was kind of similar to episode 6. But this time, at night, Bluebell decided to troll Bill and Ben. And this is how they look the next morning. Bill, or Ben. Oh, well, no, this is Bill. He was off the rails. And so was Ben. And so, Bill and Ben decided to do the same thing to Bluebell. The next episode, while Donald's away, we decided to bring Stepney to talk about what happened. Stepney went to talk to Bluebell about this, only to get knocked out and then brung to the old version of Titbit's sheds with Bluebell. Bluebell discusses her plan, and Stepney doesn't like the idea. Episode 10 was kind of the same thing. So we're skipping to episode 11, where Sir Tom Hat's talking to Stepney, and then to Icon, to invite them to the sheds, where we talk about and reminisce our old moments. But when it gets to Bluebell and she tells the truth, all of us are furious. Stepney was shocked about this. Bluebell had never told him this. After that, Bluebell had a mix of sadness and rage, but then had no regret. And we're up to the finale of the series, Christmas Engines 2, a sequel to last time. And Christmas Engines 2 were all excited because that day was Christmas Day. He had half the day to work, but the rest is all ours. Everything was happy-go-lucky the whole day. Well, at least half of it. Because as we went to work, Bluebell and Stepney decided to sneak into our sheds. I come to realize that the workmen didn't lock our sheds, so I knew Bluebell was already in there. So she had soon kicked me out. So I gathered all the engines to discuss our plan. And our plan went to action, with the big engine trio going first. They soon went into the sheds where Stepney was. Belle tried her attempt, but whatever she did, the 3 engines weren't fazed by this, including Henry. Bluebell was terrified. And then she said if she couldn't take them out, she might as well explode the whole entire sheds along with them, and Stepney. Luckily, Percy came in time to save Stepney. That soon came, and Bluebell wanted to prove a point that homes or sheds were most important to the engines. But then she had realized the bomb was inside her cab. Doug decided to put the beef aside for a second and asked Bluebell why she wanted to do this. The reason why was because she and Stepney never had a home. Since after the rising of dieselization, the controller now hated them and liked diesels more. So they went to Sodor. Bluebell tried to get attention from everyone, but couldn't get any. So exploding the sheds, or well, the result, exploding and killing me, was the way to get attention. Wow. All of it sounded horrible to Duck. So Tom Hat didn't waste any time and threw the bomb out the window. Bluebell had apologized to the engines. Nobody except Henry had forgave her, and the other two. And everything went back to normal. Now, a few episodes after the Arc movie, we get a second chance for Bluebell. This is just part one of it. The island has returned to normal, and now I work alongside Bluebell. Some of the big engines don't forgive Bluebell. And with that, Gordon ends up putting a Thomas and Gordon on Bluebell, which sends a runaway Bluebell on the main line. Afterwards, we see Bluebell at the viaduct. It's basically her calm place, was what Stepney told him. I end up talking to Bluebell about it. Now we're on to the next episode. After episodes 5, The Great Snowstorm of Sodor, we get to Bluebell's flying rescue. Bluebell shunting trucks for Henry, and they don't see eye to eye. Bluebell soon ends up meeting with Percy, and then soon enough Top Hat comes. A shredded train near the Great Western Line was still there, and Henry was heading towards it, though Bluebell was the one to save him. And it was a little hard, but she was able to do it. But soon enough, Bluebell had a little talk with Henry. Henry knew that Bluebell was right, so he apologized to her and made sure to tell the other two to say sorry. And with that, Henry was able to take his flying kipper. And Bluebell was known as a hero after that. Now, we're going to skip episodes 7 and 8, as those two were for an arc I was going to do, but we decided to cancel it. This final episode we're going to go over is called Escaped Once Again, which was the episode I was talking about when we first started the video. Donald got tired of pulling the express train, so Douglas was the one to take it. But then Douglas was soon kidnapped by two diesels trying to get some water and coal. The agents questioned about Oliver's whereabouts, though Gordon was only worried about his express coaches. Oliver soon volunteered to go and find Douglas. The Ironworks was packed with diesels. Diesel 10 soon came, told Splatter and Dodge to take him into the scrap shed. As soon as they tried to, Oliver soon came. The Diesels soon went into a full chase after them, but they were soon able to escape, reuniting with Duck, Thomas, and Sir Topham Hatt. All the engines were happy. And that's pretty much all we've gone through in the Stories of Northwestern Railway. We have gone through many events, but there's many more to come. That's pretty much it for today's video. It's me and Percy, signing off.